So now that you have a full Wii set, I mean, what's next?
VOTARY, what's next?
Hey, VOTARY, what's next?
VOTARY, what's next?
Yo, VOTARY, what's next, dude?
Yo, VOTARY, what is your next haul?
So what's next? Everyone is asking the $1 million question. What is next for the video game VOTARY? Well, we conquered the Wii U. We conquered the Wii. So now it's time for a new challenge, a new quest. With that being said, welcome to Quest DS. Guys, and welcome to a brand new episode. I'm your host of Video Game VOTARY, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Quest DS. So let me explain to you guys exactly what Quest DS is. Although some of it's pretty obvious, we're going to be collecting a complete North American retail DS set. So let me explain exactly what Quest DS is and the rules that I set for myself. Obviously, we want to collect the entire North American retail set of the Nintendo DS. From the list that I found on listchallenge.com, Nintendo DS has over 1,350 titles. I set some rules and boundaries and guidelines with collecting this set. I want to do things a little bit different this time as opposed to the prior collections that I've done. Rule number one being I want to spend the least amount of money as possible. That's kind of always been a rule, but I really want to try to do it a very different way. The goal is to try, if I can, flip my way and sell my way into getting this collection. Number two, I want to keep track of how much I actually spend. What I mean by that is if I trade and buy games or sell some of my games that I currently have, that won't count as money being spent because that's money that's already been spent. And if you guys don't know from prior episodes, I've been liquidating my entire collection outside of my Nintendo game. Fully Nintendo now. Using that stuff to support and fund collecting this next set. The next rule is, while collecting this, I want to do it in a different way. I want to collect this entire set in subsets. What I mean by that is breaking the entire Nintendo DS retail set down into subsets. There are many different series in the Nintendo DS that have multiple titles. Just to give a few examples, the Pet series, we're all familiar with Pets. They have over 10 titles. Pokemon on the DS was pretty popular. They have over 18 titles. Barbie has 6 titles on the DS. Ben 10 has 6 titles as well. The Imagine series, which is something where you can have a different occupation. You can be an artist, fashion designer, just to name a few. They have over 23 titles on the DS. Final Fantasy has 7 titles. Lego has 16 titles on the DS. Mega Man also has 10 titles on the DS. So that's kind of how I want to do it. I want to go about buying the games in subsets. It gives me a chance to learn a lot more about the DS, about the collection, and be able to break the games down and compare prices within the subsets. So even if it's not under the titles, what I plan to do outside of those is kind of grouping things together, whether it be platform games, puzzle titles, fighting games, sports games, just to name a few. That's kind of how I want to break it down, and it'll kind of give me a chance to categorize it and really get an idea of how many games in the different genres and the different franchises as well. The Nintendo DS, also referred to as the DS, is a 32-bit foldable handheld game console produced by Nintendo, released in 2004 and 2005 globally. The DS initialism for developer system or dual screen introduced distinctive new features to handheld consoles. 2 LCD screens working in tandem, the bottom one being a touchscreen, a built-in microphone, and support for wireless connectivity. Both screens are encompassed with a clamshell design similar to the Game Boy Advance SP. The Nintendo DS also features the ability for multiple DS consoles to directly interact with each other over Wi-Fi within a short range without the need to connect to an existing wireless network. Alternatively, they can interact using the now defunct Nintendo Wi-Fi connection service. Its main competitor was the Sony PSP during the 7th generation of video game console. Prior to its release, the DS was marketed as an experimental third pillar in Nintendo's console lineup, meant to complement the Game Boy Advance family and GameCube. However, the backward compatibility with the Game Boy Advance titles and strong sales ultimately established it as the successor to the Game Boy series. On March 2nd, 2006, Nintendo launched the Nintendo DS Lite, a slimmer and lighter redesign of the original Nintendo DS with brighter screens and a longer lasting battery. On November 1st, 2008, Nintendo released the DSi, another redesign with several hardware improvements, new features, although it lost its backwards compatibility with the GBA titles and few DS games that used the GBA slot. On November 21st, 2009, Nintendo released the Nintendo DSi XL, a larger version of the DSi. All DS models combined have sold over 150 million units, making it the best-selling Nintendo system, the best-selling handheld game console, and the second best-selling game console of all time, only behind the Sony PS2 by about 1 million units. Upon beginning this new quest, I got to show you guys what I have going into beginning this collection. So right now, currently, I have 28 Nintendo DS titles. So we're going to start from the top. Fantasy All-Star Baseball, which is Major League Baseball 2K8. It's a little different, I don't know. Toy Story 3. SpongeBob SquarePants, the Yellow Avenger. Mega Man, the Blue Defender. Looney Tunes Cartoon Conductor. Green Lantern, Rise of the Manhunters. Ben 10, Protector of Earth. Ratatouille. I Spy Universe. Deal or No Deal Special Edition. Space Invaders Revolution. Disney's Alice in Wonderland. Spyro Shadow Legacy. The Tale of Despero. Pets Dogs 2. Dagadar? Maybe it's Dagadar. I don't know, that sounds better. Club Penguin Elite Penguin Force. The classic Super Mario DS, Super Mario 64. This is a great game. Mario Hoops 3-on-3. The best-selling game on the Nintendo DS with over 30 million copies sold. A fantastic title. New Super Mario Bros. Iron Man. Iron Man 2. Garfield's Fun Fest. Now this is a strange game. I gotta do more research on these. So if you look, it says only plays on Nintendo DSi. This is called System Flaw. So I'm not sure. And these are actually also different kind of style boxes as well. As you can see, it's no Nintendo DS there. It's just a little different. So I did find that. I thought that was a little strange. Don't know much about that, but as we go along, we will expand our knowledge. Backyard Sports Sandlot Sluggers. Honeycomb Beat. Planet 51, the game. And last but not least, Super Princess Peach, which is a fantastic platformer title. Her first game as the lead protagonist. And guys, I'm very excited to begin this new journey. It felt a little weird not going for anything in particular game hunting. Very excited to get this thing underway, begin this new quest. And I hope you guys tag along for the ride as we set out to complete the North American retail set for the Nintendo DS. Again, welcome to Quest DS.
Thank you for watching. Follow me on all social media platforms at VideoGameVotary.